Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another 30 minutes of your questions answered. So let me stick up the number on the screen so you guys know exactly what to call. So if you guys give a call to 941-259-4779, you can get your questions answered live on the air about business, personal finance, and how to achieve financial independence. And today, we're going to be talking about two very incredible women. Patrice Washington, who ended up losing everything during the global financial crisis of 2008, and Alex Fasulo, who's making a fortune on Fiverr doing freelancing. So you definitely want to stick around, and you definitely want to give us a call at 941-259-4779 to get your questions answered. But first, intro sequence. So, like I said, we're talking about two very incredible women today. And at the same time, like I said, this format here is for you guys to get your questions answered about business, personal finance, and how to achieve financial independence. So, if you're interested in getting your questions answered, give us a call. Again, phone number is 941-259-4779. And I'd like to just tell you guys first, if you guys are liking this format and you guys like these live videos, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you're subscribed. Click that like button, please. That definitely helps out my videos and my channel in general. And most importantly, if you find value out of any of the information that I share with you, and being able to sit down and discuss these topics and help to teach you about how to achieve financial independence, how to be an entrepreneur, and how to get your personal finances in order. It would really mean a lot to me if you can just share this out to your friends and family, anyone that you think might find some value in those topics. Please, share this out. Definitely goes a long way in helping me and my channel. So I really appreciate that. From the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate all of you for being such loyal fans and loyal subscribers here. So thank you so much to you guys. If you guys can just do that for me as a favor, just share this out and like and subscribe. That means the world to me, seriously. And today, this live stream is sponsored by My Own Courses. So let's take a look down there, and let me share with you guys some stuff. Let me just pull this up. I should have had this queued up a little sooner, but you know how these lives go. So let's get that pulled up for you, and show you guys a little bit more about what I've been working on and what you can expect going forward. And I have a little bit of a special treat for you guys where I'm actually going to be providing these courses for free to existing subscribers. Now, I know I've promised that to you guys in some past videos, and I know I've individually spoken with some of you about this, but I think it would be a huge, benefit for you guys and as well to me, so that you guys can give me some feedback and testimonials and so forth on this. So let me show you what I've been working on and what's been kind of keeping me from producing the scripted videos and why I've transitioned over to the live videos here. And so I'm working currently on e-commerce millions. Now, before I get into that, the initial course that I was planning on launching with last year in 2020 was how to achieve financial independence. So I actually took what I had up to that point and I released it for free on the channel. And you'll see it here. It's my very first video, Financial Independence, Explain Like You're Five. I call it Financial Independence 101. So if you haven't seen it, take a look, check it out. That's this video right here. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with that. It's about a 30-minute investment of your time. So take a look at that. That's free for you guys to take a look at. So while I was transitioning into converting that into YouTube and releasing that for free to you guys, I had a lot of people throughout the course of my channel asking me quite a bit about my previous business. Now, this is the business that I ran for about 10 years, and due to the global financial crisis of 2008, I had actually that company went out of business, and a lot of people had asked me a lot of questions about how to start an e-commerce business because I ran that business for 10 years, so I have quite a bit of experience in e-commerce, and I know that business in and out. Currently, I'm in the web hosting industry, so obviously it makes sense to eventually make a course on that as well. But you guys had asked for this, so this is what I'm providing for you. So I'm very happy to announce that the first two chapters, chapter 1 and 2, are complete and ready for consumption. So if you want to sign up and get a free preview, you can go ahead and click on this link here, free preview. Once you get set up there, if you're interested in getting the entire course for free, you can comment down below and just let me know, hey, I'm interested in a free copy. Or you can go to my channel, click on this little About section here, and you can click on View Email Address, and you can submit an email that way. And I'll get that, and I'll be able to get you a copy of this course, E-commerce Millions, completely free of charge for you. So that's my gift to you. I know I've promised that to you guys, so I'm making good on my word. I'm a man of my word. So definitely, if you're interested in starting an e-commerce business, definitely take advantage of that. I think you'll find quite a bit of value in that. So let's get back to the phone lines, and then we'll get to the topics of today's live stream here. So number to call again if you're interested in getting your questions answered about business, personal finance, or how to achieve financial independence. Go ahead and just give me a call here at 941-259-4779. So today we're talking about two women who, in my opinion, these stories definitely need to be shared with you. The first woman here, Patrice Washington, she had actually lost everything in the global financial crisis of 2008. And she was, I think she was about 27 years old when she had lost everything. So let me cue this up for you. We'll hear from Patrice here from her interview on CNBC, and then I'll give you my 2 cents on that as well. So let's see what Patrice has to say here. Let me just cue this up for you guys. And again, I'm learning this this software, and eventually, once these things, if I make these live streams a little bit more of a daily, a weekly or daily, or on a consistent schedule. If you guys want to, keep seeing these things, maybe I'll hire somebody out to kind of man the controls here, so it's a little bit easier for us to, so there's no gaps or dead air. But let's hear from Patrice here.
Got into personal finance while I was a sophomore at the University of Southern California. Became a broker during my senior year in college, and then started my business straight after that. And it was a rocky road, but those things led to me becoming America's money maven. So when I came out of college and started my boutique real estate and mortgage brokerage, I thought that I had hit the jackpot and that I would ride that wave forever, making great money, doing what I wanted to do until...
Okay, so back during this time period, and I'm very familiar with this time period because my initial career was in real estate. I had my real estate license when I was 18, and mortgages. I was a mortgage processor from when I was 17 up until I started the e-commerce business when I was about 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And so I'm very familiar with this industry. I know a lot of my colleagues at the time who made quite a good living during that period, and the inevitable crash had happened, and that wiped out a large number of fortunes, as we all know.
Till the recession began. Over the next year and some change, what I knew to be this great seven-figure life ended up becoming me scraping up change to feed my daughter. The first thing that I remember needing to do.
So she's telling you now about her steps of how she got out of this, and I've shared quite a bit of this with you guys as well. And me and Paris Clough had actually done a collaboration on this called "How to Recover from Financial Disaster," and on his channel, which I have a link to that video
Rob here.
in the description here. I have a link to his video as well. So if you're interested in taking a look at I had actually interviewed him on my channel, and he interviewed me on his channel. So if you want to see my take on it, just go ahead and click on his channel, take a look at it, and I'll give you my. It's quite a bit of a 20-minute time commitment or so. 20, 25 minutes. I don't recall what it came out to, but definitely take a look at that, because that's something that you may find some value if you're going through any sort of financial hardships. But the first thing that Patrice had mentioned was taking responsibility. So in other words, you don't want to blame others, and you don't want to, you basically want to do what you can do, take responsibility for what you can do to get out of that situation. Then at that point, you can figure out what are the next steps for me to be able to climb out of this hole and to, finally get back on my feet and start achieving greater things again. And so it's really important to control the things that are within your control, take action on those things. And the things that are out of your control, there's not really much you can do with that other than just focusing on what you need to do. So Patrice, if you want to take a look, go on CNBC, just search for Patrice Washington if you want to watch that whole video. We don't really have the time for it, within our short 30-minute period here, but she'll give you her tips on how she recovered from financial disaster. And so great job, Patrice. This is just phenomenal. I just really wanted to highlight you here and show people that, hey, you know what? Even if you fail, I don't call it failure. I call it temporary setbacks. You guys know that. Even if you fail, you can get back on your feet and you can succeed to even greater levels than you did before. So now she runs a podcast. She's actually in a similar niche to me in personal finance. So good for you, Patrice. Go check out Patrice and see what she has to offer for you guys. She sounds like a very bright woman, and she has a really bright future ahead of her. So the next person I wanted to highlight here is Alex Fasulo. Alex Fasulo is how old is she? I think she's in her 20s, 28 years old. She just bought a Jeep Wrangler in cash in September of 2020, and she's making $378,000 a year on Fiverr. So Fiverr is a platform, a website where you can go and you can offer your services. And when it first started, it was basically anything for $5. Now they have different levels of pricing so that you can get anything that you need. They kind of outgrew that whole, it's almost like a dollar store, get whatever you want for $1. And some dollar stores, I've seen some dollar stores selling things for like $5. So I think you kind of outgrow that model at some point, and you have to kind of, in order to scale, you need to be able to increase your service offerings. So Fiverr is a platform where freelancers can go on, offer their services. I use it myself as a serial entrepreneur to purchase services, and I think it's a really great platform. So you have to check it out, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. And whether you have services to offer or if you're looking to get services from freelancers, it's a really great option for you guys. So definitely check that out. But let's see what Alex has to say.
My income overnight, and that was crazy to me. At 24, 25, making 14 or 15K per month is insane. You're not even emotionally prepared for it yet. My name is Alex Fasulo. I'm 28 years old, and I make $378,000 per year as a freelance writer on Fiverr.com. I lived in New York City for the past 6 years, and I now live in Florida.
Yeah, and she actually lives pretty close to my neck of the woods here. I think she's in Fort Myers or Naples or something like that. So she's doing really well for herself, and this is just proof positive that, if you wanted to start a side hustle, you can start freelancing on the side. You don't necessarily need to have, a full-blown business in order to get started. You can start with just, doing it on the side with the tools that you have. Just monetize your existing skill set. So, basically take the skills that you have, whether they're work-related skills or hobby skills, and just figure out a way to monetize that. And Fiverr is a great platform for you to get on. It's free of charge. I believe they take, obviously fees of a little cut of every service, that you provide. But, this is a great tool. And imagine this didn't really exist, 15 years ago. We didn't have these, and that's relatively a short period of time. We didn't have these tools back then. These tools are enabling so much wealth creation and income mobility, to be able to increase your income. And that's one of the biggest things we talk about here is how to increase your income, how to save more money, and how to invest so your money can grow. And so a big pillar of that is increasing your income. And so when you look at how do you increase your income, so you have your job where you can try to get raises or promotions, or you can try to get a new job for a higher pay, or you can shop for jobs and leverage, another offer to get maybe a higher pay at your current job. Outside of that, one of my favorite ways of increasing income is through entrepreneurial activities. And so that's a big focus of my channel is, entrepreneurship and small business and freelancing and all these things. So Alex has done a really great job at increasing her income. She's making a small fortune. A lot of you out there, a lot of us would be, very happy with making that sort of income. So she's doing really well for herself. Now, something interesting, as you achieve levels of success, something that I haven't really talked about at all probably at this point is that when you achieve a certain level of success, you attract people just hate. There's so much hate out there. People hate not obviously not everybody, but some people hate successful people. It's like they have some sort of envy or whatever it is that may drive this you know this behavior. So I did a search, because I wanted to, I obviously have to research stuff before I talk about it with you guys. I have to do a little bit of show prep here. And so I did a Google search for Alex Fasulo, and guess what? The first result that pulled up was this writer, Daniel Rosehill from Medium, which to me, Medium seems like, I don't know much about the platform, but Medium seems like a place where writers, people that's their career is writing, freelance writers, seem to hate on other freelance writers, which Alex Fasulo is a freelance writer. And so this guy, Daniel Rosehill, he had written this, and I have to admit, this guy put in a lot of time into his hate. He really, look at how long this article is. And so basically, first he's attacking her. He has suspicions over her claimed income. He doesn't believe that she's making that much money. So he thinks he's a detective, and he starts, writing this very long-winded article, which, part of me is actually thinking, this guy, maybe he's trying to piggyback off of her. She was just featured in CNBC and so forth. So maybe he's trying to piggyback off this, and he does rank number one. So he search engine rank, he nailed that. He met that goal. But what is his motivation, right? So if I go, I've read through this whole article. If you guys want to take a look, just Google Alex Fasulo, and you'll see Daniel Rosehill's Medium article here, where he basically doesn't believe what she's making. So he's got this detective work that he's doing where he knows what he's trying to prove. He's trying to prove that she's lying. So he's already starting with an assumption of what he's trying to prove. And when you start with an assumption of what you're trying to prove, you're going to find ways to try to prove your narrative here. So he's to me, he just comes across to me as a very extremely jealous. He's very jealous that another writer, someone else in his industry, a freelance writer, is making basically a small fortune off of Fiverr. And so, which I'm sure she doesn't care what Daniel Rosehill thinks of her. And so he's basically outlining here, oh, fake course gurus, which, I mean, eventually I may end up in a position where people may end up calling me, one of these fake course gurus. I mean, what's so bad about wanting to share your experience and your knowledge with other people and, make a few bucks in the process? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And yet these same people who, talk all this stuff about, oh, fake gurus, fake course gurus and so forth, and then yet none of them apply any of that same critical thinking to the concept of formal education, where you have a very rigid path of what you have to follow during your higher education, and you may not be prepared for the workforce when you get out. It's not a guarantee. And so a lot of times these courses are teaching you very specifically about a topic, and it's not, you're not learning a curriculum of things that you may not use when you get done with the course. You're learning specifically what you're looking to set out to learn. Now, are there snake oil salesmen? Of course, because it's not regulated, so you're not going to have, which is, in my opinion, a good thing, because then there's lower barriers to entry. So someone like myself or someone else who has experience and knowledge about a topic can go off and create a course, and there's no regulations involved. But on the flip side of that, you have the ability of basically anybody saying whatever they want in order to sell these courses. Now, obviously that's illegal, and you can't lie, and you can't have claims that aren't true. I mean, the FTC and the state attorneys general do regulate that. So if someone's making claims that aren't true, yes, that's something that they can get fined and get into all sorts of and get shut down. The FCC can even shut you down. Even state attorneys generals can shut you down as well. So, I feel like people who kind of have this negative association to courses and information digital courses, I feel like that's coming from a place of envy in a way, because they're almost envious that they can't. This guy, Daniel Rosehill, I mean, look at how much effort he put into this article to basically try to discredit Alex Fasulo and try to minimize her success. Just because he's coming at it from the angle of, oh, she's just basically trying to sell a course, which, I mean, I didn't really get that. You guys can check out on CNBC her little feature there. I didn't really get that, from her feature there. So I mean, this guy just, and then he uses some math here to make it seem, oh, very scientific. Oh, look at these numbers I'm using to make me sound all official. And it's like, I apply critical thinking as well to everything I see, and I highly recommend you guys do the same if you don't already. Is apply critical thinking to everything, even to this guy. I apply critical thinking to him as well, and this is where I feel like he's coming across as, I mean, his hatred is just very apparent to me. It's one of the things. I mean, he basically wrote this entire thing out of envy and hatred. Trying to discredit and disprove what she's claiming in her CNBC feature, and then he goes on to basically say that, oh, even popular YouTubers are lapping up the story without batting an eyelid, and Graham Stephan describes himself as a real estate investor and had this to say on his reaction video, and then he basically he explains what he had seen in that, and oh, here we go, and now Daniel has his own reaction video right here at the end. So this is basically his call to action. So he wrote this whole article. He's ranking #1 in Google search for her name basically, and it's to promote. Oh, guess what? His video.
Me.
So, I take these haters with a grain of salt, and I suggest you guys apply critical thinking to anything that you, especially online, anything you hear or read about online. Just buyer beware. So the number to call again, 941-259-4779. I have time for about one question in here. So if you guys want to have your questions answered about business, personal finance, or how to achieve financial independence, definitely give a call. And the number again, 941-259-4779. And if we don't get anybody calling in within the next few minutes or so, then I'm obviously going to be wrapping this up because this is only up until 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we carve out about 30 minutes of this show so that it doesn't run on for 2.5 hours of me just sitting here talking to myself. So I've been thinking about maybe changing the time of when I do these things, the time and possibly even the date of when I do these live streams, because I feel like not very many people seem to catch it. A lot of people want to watch it, but not too many people are actually getting around to being able to catch this live. So what I want to do for you guys is throw this out there to you in the comments. If you guys if you guys have a particular time and or date in mind of when you think these things should occur, I don't know, maybe Mondays, maybe the weekend, or I don't know. Just let me know when you think would be a better time that you guys would be able to catch this, so that you can actually call in and get your questions answered live in the air. And if you're a little apprehensive about calling in because you're afraid, oh, the whole internet's going to be here watching me or whatever. First of all, nobody knows who you are. Nobody can identify you in any way. There's never any stupid questions, so don't be bashful about calling in because you think maybe your question's not the greatest. That there's really the only stupid thing is to not ask questions. So definitely jot down this number, comment down below, let me know what time and date might be good for you in the future. And like I said, just share this out with your friends and family, and make sure you click that like button and make sure that you're subscribed so that you never miss one of these live episodes, or you never miss any of the scripted content that I release in the future. So with that, we only have about 2 minutes left, and let me just see who's actually on the live stream. Looks like there's currently 0 concurrent viewers. So with that, thank you guys so much for joining. I know you guys are going to be watching this from the future. They're replaying it. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you being such loyal fans. And again, free courses to anybody who's interested on the topic of e-commerce. Comment down below or go to my About page and just send me an email there. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.